just going to ask you some questions, Phil, and we'll just have fun with it.
You bet. Sure.
Alrighty. I think we're rolling. Hey, folks, welcome. There's three of us today. We've got Mike from the Farmivore packing facility at the McGrath Ranch, and we're honored to have the owner of that ranch, Phil McGrath, with us on this call. Phil, could you introduce yourself? Just tell our listeners who you are and what you've been doing the last several decades farming.
Well, thank you, Max. It's obviously an honor to be here. I'm one of 8 owners on that ranch, and today I'm so excited to talk about the whole history of the CSA and the concept of home deliveries and getting food directly to people as opposed to going through so many different venues that's normal for the Oxnard Plains. It's a very big commercial, conventional farm area. It's not that big. It's 40,000 acres, but when you compare it to San Joaquin Valley, which is 2.5 million acres, it's not that big. But what we're doing, Mike's doing, you're doing, I hopefully set the whole thing in motion, was just growing for this whole concept direct marketing. And obviously I started with farmer markets and then went into restaurants when that became clear. And for me, it was in the early 90s when I started getting out of conventional commercial chemical farming and took over my brother's operation at the farmer markets. And that's where my eyes were just open completely to the huge demand of what people wanted. First of all, everybody wanted organic. And second, people had never seen fresh produce before. Max, it's terrible for me to say this, but I've said it to Mike a number of times. We do 2 things that really make us special. We grow things in season and we sell it fresh. I know it sounds a little simple,
huh?
But yeah, it is that simple. And it's just was huge to see how many people in the 90s wanted it that way. And obviously the restaurants were next. They really came in the late 90s, early 2000s. So when the CSA concept first came out, I think it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, I heard about it from my friends at Full Belly Farms. They're in Capay Valley, which is outside of Sacramento. And that's the first time I heard about it. And I was in different board meetings and different groups where I'd run into my friends up there. And they'd tell me more and more about it. And my first, it got big and it got statewide. And my first true influence were the temples of Los Angeles. It was the strangest thing that it was religious based, that these Jewish temples wanted the cleanest food they could get. And obviously they were online, they were checking it all out, and they heard about this whole concept. Actually, even before that, I had some other demand from some Hollywood type people, but it was pretty neat just to know that, wow, I could really do this. I've got enough demand from a group of people in Malibu, obviously 4 or 5 different temples in Beverly Hills and throughout Los Angeles. And
around the early 90s?
Actually, I didn't start my CSA box till 2006.
Okay.
The CSA was truly the thing, if I can use this pun, closest to home. I mean, there's something great about Farmivore that is just taking this whole concept. And obviously, you've worked so much on the software, the hardware, that the whole idea of giving people choices and giving people choices that are in season and locally grown from us, from other farmers in the region. It couldn't be a better idea of bucking the trend of buying produce from Mexico or out of state, let alone out of country. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's great.
So if you were to capture the spirit of CSA or the essence of CSA, and to see, a continuity between what you started then in the 90s and what we're trying to do, with you on your ranch right now, what would you say if you had to distill the spirit of it? What would it be?
I would say local grown, obviously local grown, organic grown, and regional. Local grown, organically grown, from your community farmers to your community, something to that effect. Anyway, it's such the concept of, especially now during this pandemic, of getting fresh local produce directly to people's homes. And it also makes people rethink about what they're doing. And that's a big part of Mike's, yours, ours push, is to make sure people know that we are, we're getting local product here. And this is what California in this region has to offer. Some people, we've been blamed or accused of being too expensive, but no, I don't think food's too expensive, especially as the clean food that we offer.
When you have this direct relationship that something like a CSA affords, or which Farmivore is aiming for, you can have those kinds of conversations. And instead of that price just being a price, suddenly that could become a conversation. And what I love about Farmivore and the way the whole business evolved, almost without even us trying to do it, is we came to this as farmers. And it's an honor to speak to you, Mike and I, as farmers, to you, a veteran farmer, that we are literally trying to carry this torch of direct marketing on and just take it, 2, 3, 4 steps further.
Yeah.
But those conversations are golden. And although we do sell over an online platform and conversations might not be as easy to have at a farmer's market, we still have that direct connection to our customers.
Yeah, that's why we're talking now. This needs to get out. People need to understand this is the best possible way you can eat, getting it direct. We're lucky in one regard. I mean, in Southern California, we have about 30 million people, and we really could go. When I think of our region, Max, I think of Point Conception to the Mexican border. That's what I think, Southern California, the Mediterranean climate. I can tell you, I know the stories of farming in old LA from my dad's friends, and how wonderful that town was when it was truly the largest ag community in America in 1954. The largest revenue producing ag community in America was Los Angeles County. And that's not that long ago. That really isn't. So yeah, keeping that torch alive and carrying it forward. We got to have these conversations. We need to let people understand that you might think our food's expensive, but you take everything into account, what we're doing for the environment, what we're doing for your health, what we're selling local, fresh, and the education that is offered, just understanding why you're getting tomatoes in the fall and late summer.
Well, Phil, I can remember with the McGrath CSA, our farm box, it was a lot of education, and we would have to explain a lot. You would always tell me education is everything. We have to explain what's in season. This is why, we're long on this. We're having a great year with this crop. That's why you're getting a lot of this crop. And we know that we had pushback from some of the customers with some of those things, because obviously they wanted choice, and rightfully so. We were really pushing to get them involved, and some people, many people were right along, shoulder to shoulder with us. But the large majority were still making choices, and they have so many choices here in Southern California, right? The grocery store, the farmer's market. Of course, we always cheer them on when they grow their own. One thing that was struck me, Phil, that Max had uncovered, I guess I would say, as as we shifted towards Farmivore as the McGrath family farmer farm box, is what he had done is he had taken existing technology that was all outward bound. It was all focused on getting bigger and global. And he simply inverted it. And he used that technology to create a very efficient way to distribute local food. So once I saw that, having gone through, mentorship with you, and I saw, we were right there. All the challenges we faced, we tried our best. Our life's work is in getting people to eat local food, to eat healthy, and to grow community. And what I recognized that Max had done is, again, just take those same systems that are outward bound and reverse them. And now today, our McGrath family farmer farm box is fully customizable. It's delivered right to their door. The work never stops, Phil. We're never going to stop telling them, grow it yourself first. Grow
Be
yourself.
Our guest.
Come on out to the farm and pick from our home plot here, and pick up on the farm. It'll always be something that we're working hard towards. But at the same time, what Farmivore has done is lowered that barrier to entry. You almost at this point have to say, I don't like local food. I don't want the fresh. So really, Farmivore is in the best sense of the word, has backed people into a very positive corner of being functionally selfish, of eating the best they can. So I was glad to get you on and talk about the historic, being that pioneer, along with some of Max's mentors who are BD, your pals, BD and Steve Sprinkle, and you guys are in the farmers markets together. That's who Max came up under.
Sure. So, I know this.
I know, you're busy with a lot of different things, but for taking a little bit of time to talk about the historic role that you've played and the other farmers in the area have played to getting these farm boxes going, and now McGrath family farmers along with Farmivore.
All righty, well, folks, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Please follow us on Instagram. Check out the website, farmivore.farm. Check out McGrath Family Farmers on Instagram, and we'll be back for more. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.